Yeah, everybody, what's going on here, man? We're out here in LA doing a video on Koreatown. You know what I mean? Out here it's kind of crazy, man. You gotta put your mask on, make sure you cover up that coronavirus. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out here being sick nowadays. First of all, I want to talk about the situation it's called GangStalking. GangStalking is real, man. GangStalking is no joke, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let you know that there was a time that I was doing bad, doing really bad out there. I was out there struggling, hustling, robbing, stealing from people, beating people's asses and everything, you know what I mean? So it came down to a situation, man, that I needed help. I needed really bad help on a situation of my addiction. My addiction was it was very bad, you know what I mean? Because the addiction that you have during doing methamphetamine it's hard to quit, you know what I mean? It's hard to quit. It's hard to stop doing what you're doing, because it's just, after so many years you get addicted to the situation that what you become this person that you don't know. In reality, you're messing up your life, you know? And I'm trying to explain to you about what brings this attention to yourself during GangStalking. You know what I mean? It brings a lot of attention to yourself. You know what I mean? When you're doing methamphetamine, you're out there, having a good time with your friends. It's a drug. Of course, it's an effective drug, which it affects your life bad. Affecting your life bad, bro, because it's not like how it used to be no more. Methamphetamine it's the way how they used to make it. When it was coming from Mexico, coming over here to the United States, it was way better. It was like crank. Crank back then would have you amped up. It was yellow. Now, the way he has speed now is they have it white, and they're making it with a bunch of different chemicals, from battery acid, wasp spray, cockroach spray, and all this bullshit chemicals that you buy at Home Depot. You know what I mean? So it's not like how it used to be, man. It's killing your brain cells. It's making you paranoid a lot. A lot of it's real, man. A lot of it's real, though. It brings you into this different type of world where you can just hear everything and see everything people that can't see. You know what I mean? That's what meth does to you. You know what I mean? It gets you paranoid. Paranoid, where the high is different from the high that you want to feel. You know what I mean? Some people say it makes you horny. It doesn't make you horny. To me, it doesn't at all. I'm gonna let you know that that's a lie. It's a lie. It just fucks up your high, fucks up the mood, and it fucks up the way your life is supposed to be. You know what I mean? And man, when I used to do meth, I used to like to go to stores. You know what I mean? My eyes would be all bright. People would I could see people just staring into my eyes and taking a look at me, and I had no shame. Little kids, you know what I mean? They could tell that I was high and beamed up off that bullshit. You know what I mean? Then I start to feel like I was closed in a closet, right? Because I felt like everybody was starting to gain up on me and just look at me and target me as this person that likes to get high and be out every single day in public. But I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't actually harming nobody. I was just minding my business, but I was just high. And what do you know? One day I stumbled across somebody that had to do a lot with this GangStalking, and I became a target of the community. The community is these people that target certain situations, certain people that are either mental ill with the illness, or they're mentally disturbed. They don't know what they're doing. They have some kind of mental illness, or they're just a drug addict, which was me. And I also have some mental disorder illnesses also. So it affected my life a lot much more from what was going on. Because all the time I was always paranoid out here in the streets, man, running and hiding, begging for what? When there was nobody actually out there chasing me. I wasn't at the time. There was nobody chasing me. I was too beamed up off the drug, the chemical, and not knowing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Too worried about people, what they think about me. So, as that problem, it became a problem. Every single day of my life, I started doing this shit. And I couldn't stop, man. Couldn't stop. I'll do from a quarter ounce to a half an ounce to an ounce a day. Where I was actually selling my soul for it. Which is so embarrassing, you know? I sold my soul to the devil. I didn't care, he had it. And I didn't care what it took me to get that drug. It drained me. I lost a lot of my life. I lost a lot. I lost the woman that I love, that's having my baby. I lost that woman. She cared about me so much that I still cry to this day, wishing that I could have been better. But now I'm struggling still, but I'm still doing my best and going forward with my life. Man, this drug has taken over the world so bad that you got kids that are on this shit, man. That are on this shit, and you want to help them out and get them off the shit, because they're always doing this. It's turning everybody against everybody, and it hurts that you got to see this every single day of your life, that you see these kids out here doing this methamphetamine bullshit drug, trafficking themselves just to get a hold of the drug and to make a you know, try to help them change, but they're so stuck on the shit that they can't get off of it. They need it constantly, man. They need it constantly to get high, to have fun, to party and have sex with. That's what it does. That's what it's supposed to do. But us, the community, the people that have kids. I have 2 daughters. I have one that's in the stomach, the mother of my child, and my other one that's about 16 years old. I don't want to see my daughters go through this. Look what I've gone through. But what we got to do is just make a difference. Make a difference and help our kids. Show them the right way. Get the shit out of this community. Get these people that sell drugs, that hurt kids, that hurt people, their families. But yeah, man. So, as I started to get high every day, I started to grow and know people. I started traveling all over the Los Angeles area, even to Orange County, just to sell it, to have fun with it, and to party with it, and to have sex with it, just like everybody else has. I'm ashamed of myself, basically, but I'm doing this video to let you know what it does and what's happened to me in my life and how it's affected my life so bad. And maybe, hopefully, that you people will change and make a big difference in your lives. But yeah, man, this drug, it drained me. It made me so skinny. My bones were popping out of my skin. I started to shrink. My body started to shrivel. I started to age. That's what it does. You start to get skinny. Like you haven't eaten for days. You don't eat for days when you're on it. You know? You don't eat for days at all. There's times that you're on it for a week, you don't even know. You haven't even showered, shitted, or anything. Which is a damn shame. But us, it's up to us, like I said, to change that. And if you think about it, GangStalking doesn't help. It really doesn't. For some people that are street smarts, that are really strong inside and really want something for themselves in life, those are the ones that do make a change and that do try, no matter what it takes. They try. But to target a person that's actually homeless, that's mental disturbed, that talks to himself constantly, that's schizophrenia, it's not good to target somebody like that that's innocent and that doesn't have any type of that can't control themselves from using or for knowing what they're doing. Not everybody that does crystal meth knows what they're doing, you know. But yeah, and they're the ones that are being targeted until they actually commit suicide, which is a damn shame on this community, how they do that to the people that are mentally disturbed, mental issues, and are homeless. Because those are the people you should not target at all. Before you target somebody, you look at yourself and think about what you've done. And what you're doing to hurt somebody like that. So you need to check your own background first before you start targeting people. I'm not scared at all. See, I'm lucky that I survived because I was strong enough in the brain and I knew what I want in my life. As I'm still struggling, I'm still working on my life to try to gain some kind of dignity back to make a big difference in my life. And to be somebody for my kids before I die in this world. But yeah, gang stalking, man, it's no joke. You got the law enforcement involved in the situation. You got the federal involved in this situation. The government behind it all. It's actually a federal offense if you actually gang stalk somebody by law. It's a federal offense. You know what I mean? Yeah, but besides that, you know, people. It's not for everybody. Like I said before, it's not for everybody. Gang stalking is not for everybody. And it's a damn shame how the community does target certain individuals that are with mental illness and that can't control themselves. You know, and there should be a law for that. Even worse, if somebody commits suicide and you're part of that situation, you should be convicted for murder and thrown in jail for the rest of your life. Now, who's going to be somebody's bitch in jail? Yeah, exactly. Well, community gangs up on people that have certain problems in their lives and that can't control themselves. Either it's drugs, an addiction that they have, or some kind of mental illness that they have, or some kind of problem they have with somebody, or either it has to be with somebody that you knew that did this to you, that has something against you, or some kind of hatred against you, or you might have turned somebody down before in either relationship-wise. It's all envy and jealousy, man. That's what it's all about. Jealousy of a lot of people of a person. And once he gets one person to do it, another person follows, and another person follows after that. You know? It's a damn shame. But that's how it works, man. They pay a lot of the people that are out on the streets to participate in these situations of scaring people and following people, a tactic to try to get them to change their lives around. That's not how tactics work, bro. That's not how tactics work at all. And how to get somebody to change their life around. Some people don't want to be helped. You know what I mean? But yeah, so they pay a lot of people off that are in the streets, man. They don't give them cash. They don't give them like a check or anything like that. They pay them off by gift certificates. They give them gift certificates from Walmart, Target, CVS's, Walgreens, Rite Aids. Any type of gift certificate, they're giving out to people so they can use this tactic on the other person. They get gang of people on the streets, in the stores, to pull this off. Even these big old multi-million dollar corporations like this Bank of Hope and all these other banks of Americas and all these other JP Morgan Bank, man, it's part of this. They're part of this big old scam of targeting certain individuals on GangStalking. Even the prison, when you get out of prison, they start to target people that get out of prison. Your parole officer, your probation officer, they're all behind it. They're all behind it, and they act innocent. The only thing is that you gotta have certain evidence on these people for doing this type of crime. It's considered almost a hate crime. Yeah, that's what it is. You know, you got people that sneak up behind you, that play these little games that are running down the street, or the helicopter coming by, the police helicopter. It's all a tactic that they all use. Somebody calls the cops on purpose. This is in the ambulance, turns on the fire department. They're going down the street back and forth with sirens, making all this noise to scare you, to make you paranoid. It's a tactic they use because methamphetamine brings that type of, we call that paraphernalia inside of you. You know what I mean? That paranoia inside of you that you start to have. So when that happens, your mind starts going different types of places where how you start to think about everything. Stuff becomes real. Yeah. So it becomes real, and people all of a sudden start talking about you, start saying these little things about you, but they're talking about, it seems like they're talking about someone else, but they're not talking about someone else. They're actually talking about you, something that you did. Something that you did either might have been that same day that they're talking about you, or the next day, or what you have done. Yeah, they say, oh yeah, Alfredo was inside the house having a joint, doing some drugs again, which he should not have been, but it was actually you they're talking about. You know what I mean? They're making a story similar to you of the situation that you were doing inside that house or in that place, that area, wherever you were doing wrong. You shouldn't have been doing it, because either somebody knows what you're doing at all times. Okay? There's another way that how they do this, the federal government, how they use this tactic. They use it through cell phones, media. Media is a big issue about GangStalking. It's a big issue, man. And you do not want to fuck with the media. Media does not play around. They all act so innocent. And it's sad that this federal government lets them do it. The Supreme Court, you know what I mean? It's a law, but they still don't obey by the rules. Am I right or wrong? They don't obey by the laws. We break our own laws, and the government gets to get away with that. The federal government does. And the police officers do too. So, yeah, man, they drive a person off the edge by GangStalking. They come in different types of vans, vehicles, all these vehicles like SUVs, trucks, cars, you know what I mean? They're all rolling together, man. When you see a pack of them inside of it, even the Uber and Lyft are also behind all these situations. You know what I mean? JP Morgan owns all these little companies that he breaks off with some money and buys these little, they could rent a whole block out for the whole day just to fuck with you about the situation. So, what do you think about that, man? All these companies, JP Morgan, he's bought off all these little branches of stores, paid them off for the whole day, and you're on that block chilling, and you're on some meth. Oh, they're gonna fuck with you. They're gonna fuck with you. The whole store is gonna fuck with you. They're all behind it. But not knowing that they know that it's a federal offense. They want to drive you crazy until you are over the limit. You can't stop. You could run all day and all night long, and you won't be able to hide because they know exactly and pinpoint where you're at because of your phone, or somebody knows, or somebody has a cell phone on them. You're talking to them. It could be your friend. They're hacking into every damn fucking phone in the nation just to see where you're at. And AI is an artificial intelligence, okay? Look it up. Artificial intelligence is called deep mind and deep learning. This is how they have recognition on your face. The camera looks right into your face. You need camera around, okay? You need cell phone around. You need electronic around that has a camera on it or some speakers on it. Like you hear my voice talking to you right now, right? So that artificial intelligence is also learning off of me what I'm saying and describing my face and picturing it and storing it in the system. That's how they find you. But it's all quiet, man. Quiet. It's all quiet. It's all smashed down into the concrete and buried 10 feet down when none of y'all can prove it. Yeah, man. It's up to you. It's up to you guys to either think about this GangStalking, because a lot of people start to plot against you, and you think you're tripping, but you're right. GangStalking is started by an independent contractor. Either he could have been a police officer at once and got fired from the job and was thrown off duty, and he started his own little corporation. You gotta just dig into it, man. Vice has a lot of it also too. So there's a lot of GangStalking. You just gotta keep digging and digging and digging. I found this one app on Vice, man. I dug into their records so bad, man, and they took that shit off real quick because I found it. I downloaded it to my phone. It's an app. It's an app about GangStalking. It's an app on GangStalking. The situation is that it's one person that might have something against you. You did something wrong to him, or you might not have. He just might have liked you, or she might have liked you. He might have liked you, whatever. And you turned them down. Just say that, right? You turned them down, and the person got angry about it because you didn't give her the time of day, or him the time of day, or you might have stolen something. Either something, you've done something to somebody, or haven't, but they just had some kind of situation against you that they didn't like. So they get this little bet going on against you, right? That's how they start off. There's a $20 one, there's a $50 one, there's a $80 one, there's a $120 one, there's a $140 one, there's a $180 one, there's a $200 one of the situation what they got going on. So they got this it was an app where it was different prices, right? The $200 one is when you get a full package of information of a person's information, and you could have his email, his address, birth certificate, where he was born, all his passwords, and everything, man. They sell this online. You know what I mean? So you have all his information and use a tactic against him where he's on. You will know where he's at every time of the day, what he's doing on his phone every time of the day. You have all access to his contacts. You can change his access to his contacts from your phone. You can make him look at something on his phone that he's trying to look for to dig up information. Make him look at something else when it's really not that what he's trying to look for. You know what I mean? Say if he's looking up his record, he wants to know if he has a warrant for his arrest, which he does, right? It's not going to show that he has a warrant for arrest. It's going to say, nope, he doesn't at all, that he's safe. So they're bullshitting you. That person could do all of this to your life and destroy you at one shot. You know what I mean? It depends. And then you got people that join. The more people that join and bid on you like a stock, it's the more money that person gains. And each person gains money off of you by doing this to you. Alright? So there's a lot of ways that these people could start doing this to GangStalking, man. It involves a lot of our people, man. Look at this, man. Look at all these people right here that are vendors that are out here making their money, right? To plot against you. Even these people right here, right in front of you, they could be plotting. But that's what they do, man. That's what it is. Look, got all these cars out here. In the nighttime, during the day, maybe you have cars that are parked. Certain cars that are parked down the street, like Lyft drivers, that are in the middle of the street, right? Like you go down one street, you see like 3 cars in the middle of the street with the lights blinking off and on, with the light blinkers, the headlights, right? So as you see with the headlights on like that, blinking off and on, right? They're actually waiting for you because you're walking that way to that block or the next block. You go to the next block instead, right? Like, I want to go down to that block because it looks kind of suspicious. You get kind of spooked out, right? Oh, what the fuck is going on here, man? What are these kind of cops? They are agents.